So, Alex, is this a surprise that Tesla is going to start making their cars over in China?
It's actually been telegraphed for a little while that they've had something coming in China. The thing that's particularly interesting is the trend in this sort of in the Western Hemisphere, that they are struggling to meet their production numbers. They finally met them in the last week of June, but they also say they don't need more capital. Well, building a factory is clearly not a cheap enterprise, and it does suggest they will need more capital in some form.
How realistic is it they can actually build a plant in the foreseeable future that will make 500,000 cars? They have trouble making cars back here in the United States.
I mean, to cut them some slack, one might say that the lessons they've learned from the mistakes they made with the plant in Fremont, well, perhaps they can apply those going forward, so it might be easier. But yes, it's a very, very valid question. They've not met pretty much any of their targets until very, very recently. So going from 14,000 vehicles, which is what they currently sold in China last year, to making 500,000, that is a huge, huge jump.
Hey, Alex, how much would something like this cost?
I mean, you're looking for a new plant that's sort of upwards of $5 billion. Tesla, they are going to have some better free cash flow heading into the third and fourth quarter because, of course, as you deliver those cars, you get the full whack of their value from the sales, clearly. And so they will, have cash coming in, but given what their capital needs are, even inside the US, it does suggest they need to go perhaps to the debt markets to raise some more money.
How receptive are the debt markets at this point to Tesla bonds? In the past, it's been extraordinary. They've been able to write paper no matter what. But is that still true?
Well, I mean, it's very hard to gauge the appetite for going forward. Clearly, we've seen on the equity side that there's a lot more sell ratings on the stock than there have been historically. That one has to see whether that sort of appetite does carry it onto the debt side of things. I mean, the fact is that the appetite for Tesla stock hasn't necessarily been about its profitability or anything like that. It's about its growth expectations. Now, clearly, if you are buying debt to fund a factory, that is, with the expectation that it is fueling more growth. It's a very clear, cause and effect there. So that might suggest that there would be enough appetite for it.
Alex, how much competition does Tesla face with its EVs in China?
Well, the thing that's interesting actually here is that the structure of the company makes it harder for people to perhaps spoof their technology than has been the case in the rest of the automotive industry. For other car makers building a factory in China, they have to be in a 50-50 joint venture, while Tesla, as an electric vehicle maker, is allowed to own it 100%. You saw with BMW, they have their joint ventures in China, then strangely a few years later you see very similar looking cars coming from some of their partners in the country. So there's a lot of appetite for battery technology as a whole, but right now Tesla as a brand is far stronger than any other competitor in the region.